Okay, this is Keith Kelch with How to Build Your Own Home. This is a weekly live session where I take questions and kind of respond to your replies. And I had a tiny video I produced earlier this week, and I actually went on site to a better solution than tiny homes. So I suggest you watch my YouTube channel. We will post that this week, if not tomorrow. And you can see it, an actual better version than tiny homes. I have three options that I created, and they're superior to a tiny home. If you recall last week, I talked about tiny homes and how the good, the bad, and the ugly. I strongly recommend you. I wanted to go on site and I wanted to show you one of the options that I prefer over a tiny home. And I actually we filmed that, so it'd be better than just trying to talk about it. I actually wanted to do a post on that. So follow my YouTube channel. I will also post it on my Facebook page at How to Build Your Own Home, or go to my YouTube How to Build Your Own Home as well. Today I want to talk about something that is very important, and it has to do with appraisals and specifications. I deal with this all the time as a builder, and I know that some owner builders are going to run into this. What happens is when you get a construction loan with a local lender, typically a local bank or a local credit union, is that you have to get an appraisal on the property after or before it's even started, before you even build. And they will add up your square footage, and they are going to give you an appraisal based upon its supposed completion date. Now, there's a couple of problems here that you need to be aware of. I just went through this with a client just recently, and they submitted the square footage, they submitted the plans that they're going to build, and they sent it in for the appraiser, and the appraisal came in very, very low. And I said, "Did you submit the specifications with the appraisal, with the plans of the home?" And they said, "No." Okay, now you want to do that. You should have sent that right away. Now, what are specifications? Specifications indicate the value that you're going to be putting into the home, the type of roof you're going to be putting on the home. What's the exterior going to look like? What are the finishes going to be? Uh, Landscaping, all of that. And then they can appraise based upon that. Otherwise, they're just going to go up and measure the square footage of the home, compare it to just about anything else in the market that's probably most likely low grade, because they don't know. The appraisal comes to the job site or the home site, and they have no clue what's going to be built on this home. So that's their excuse to go as low as they possibly can with a comparable market analysis. Appraisers have to be guided. Appraisers have to be told what you are going to build. It's the only way to get that appraisal high. And why do you want a high appraisal? Because it's going to increase your loan potential. It's also going to show possible value or equity that you'll have at the end of the home loan. And let's say, for example, that you're building a $300,000 square foot home, but you've only got barely 20%. Well, if we can get it appraised at 320, 315, 3 whatever, higher than that, then the bank will show that there'd be added value in the home in the form of equity, which a lot of times they can showcase that as some equal to down payment, or it gives them to the the value they want in your pocket, meaning you're going to have more teeth in the game, and the more teeth you have in the game, more equity to lose, the greater you are as a person to lend to. If you try to get into a home and you have no equity, no value in the home, you're higher risk. But if you have something to lose, you're a better person to lend to. And one of the ways that you can increase your teeth in the game is to show a higher value that you're going to build. And so I strongly recommend dotting your T's with specifications. Now, how do you do that? I typically do it in a single page and I do it in a bullet fashion. And I say this home will have this kind of roof. I always put lifetime roofs on my homes, and I have rebates, and I have roofs that actually save on utilities, and I say all that. I say my HVAC is going to be in a conditioned space, thereby also fitting within a higher quality home. I indicate my homes are going to be 2x6 construction, not 2x4 construction. I indicate that I'll have 1 inch of foam on the exterior just before I put stucco. I indicate that I'll have blow-in insulation and that I will also have insulated stem walls. On and on. I list it as much as I possibly can without it being overbearing. Now you can do several pages with pictures and stuff like that. You could even put energy saving LED lights. This home will have a blower door test, which means that it has to pass a certain level in order to have a certain certification. You can indicate all these things on your home: your granite, your flooring, your fixtures. The more you can indicate, the more you're going to help your appraiser. Again, this is the appraisal before you even start construction. This is the appraisal that is going to be given to the bank before they give you a loan to indicate, yeah, we can give you a loan for this particular amount. So your specifications are important. What I might do is actually give a PDF and I will put it on my website, howtobuildyourownhome.com, and click on the specification sample. Give me a couple of hours. I will do a PDF sample, and it will be at the top of the page, just below the free home site selection checklist. I will give a sample specifications PDF. It's just going to be a single page. I do a specifications file that's sometimes a couple of pages long. But this one single bullet point specification sample is what I typically give to lenders. It really helps them out when they go out there and they try to give a proper valuation of a home. Now, I have an appraiser here in town, and we all know the appraiser, and this appraiser is very tough. And they're typically lower than any other appraisal that an appraiser in my market gives. And so he appraised real low. I had to resubmit it, this time with all the specifications that we're going to put in, all the value, the things we're going to put in this home. The appraisal came back, uh, you know, quite a bit higher. That's what we needed in order to qualify for this loan to move forward. All's good now. We'll break ground here probably in the next 3 to 5 days and get going on the home. Why are appraisals before construction so important? Because that really gives you buffer room in your budget. I built 63 homes with a nonprofit organization, all under budget. And why? Because I had budgets that have had real good contingencies, and I pushed HUD. This is a long story, but I pushed HUD to increase their loan availability in certain rural areas by pushing the valuation of the home, meaning I couldn't build under 200,000 anymore in certain rural areas. It was too difficult. My budgets back then were pushing 210, 220, 215. So I had to go through an entire process to show and prove the value of the homes is really at that cost. And by doing so, they approved a lot of loans in particular areas, and I was still under budget anyway. I'm the kind of guy that pushes valuation as high as I possibly can as a builder. because I want that room. I want that availability of loan. Here's something to consider. I always, as a builder, I always have one thing up my sleeve before I even start building a job. And that one thing is going to increase valuation on the fly if we need to make it happen. I had a family where I built a home for them several years ago, and they had quite a few number of kids, and the home cost came in at about $305,000. And we set the budget, did everything right. The minute we started to dig, we found a septic system underneath their foundation. The next door neighbor had put their septic on their property. That increased some cost, it increased some legal fees and what have you. So what did I do? I immediately called the truss plant. I told them, let's convert the garage trusses to attic trusses. By doing so, we immediately created 450 square feet of additional space. That there increased the valuation of the home substantially. We had a simple hallway that gave access to it for very little cost. Back then, it was maybe about an $800 difference with maybe some drywall and some insulation, and we had some increased valuation because we didn't have the extra money in pocket to deal with the legal fees and the excavation costs to deal with that septic. But I increased the equity in the home, and then the bank lent us some more. That's why you want to increase the value of your home. That's why you want some specifications to increase and detail exactly what you're going to do. Are you going to put some nice landscaping in? Whatever it is you're going to do to show value in the home, that's what a specification sheet is for. Again, remember to check my YouTube channel. Later this week, we'll be posting the 3 best alternatives over tiny homes. I'm going to be posting that this week. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to chime in on any of the social media. I wanted to give this vital information. We've got a lot of students breaking ground this fall, and they're running into the issue of not getting a specification list to submit to the lender before they break ground, before they try to get a loan. That is extremely important. And I wanted to hurry and fit this in at the same time we do the tiny alternatives this week. Sorry if I changed my mind on topics this week. I had to do that. I had way too many running into that issue. I hope that helps you out. Again, this is Keith Kelsch with How to Build Your Own Home. Thanks for chiming in.